so cool about DoorDash. And here's the thing. I actually thought it was pretty disappointing, to be honest. Not to start the video off with a downer, but I actually thought it was pretty disappointing to hear that people are making videos about DoorDash that are anything but positive. Like, it's just such an example of how miserable people really are, that somebody who has been on the grind, has just went hard, right? Went hard with their efforts when it comes to actually going after their dreams or their desires or their goals, and then people are bashing it. It's like you can just tell how envious and how jealous some of the society that we live in now really is. And it's disappointing because her whole channel right now is about you making money. Okay, so, and I'll get to my fitness check in a second, but I wanted to just start off with this because I woke up to some interesting comments and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. I did not know that was happening. So a wonderful new subscriber had commented and said that people are actually, there's just so many videos talking about this woman, DoorDash. And oh, it's funny, she just posted a new video. I'll watch it after. I should watch it with you guys, to be honest. It says, I didn't succeed on YouTube until I learned this. And she's in her car. But someone might be like, well, Ciana, why are you talking about DoorDash so much? Because I think it's more so, if you're not going to believe me with this, then I would rather you at least believe somebody about starting a YouTube channel and thinking about it on the level of, honestly, like on the level of generational wealth. So it might take you 5 years, 10 years to get there, but you have the rest of your life and generations upon generations that can benefit. Like, this could be what digs your family out of crazy debt, right? And so I just think it's interesting when I came across that comment from this new subscriber, and she was like, yeah, it's been nice to see somebody actually talk about DoorDash in a positive way. And I'm like, oh, wait, like in my head, I'm like, wait, because I haven't come across any, but I'm sure there are. As you continue to grow, you're just going to come across haters. Like, it just is what it is when it comes to this YouTube journey and this YouTube platform and putting your face on the internet. Like, it just is part of it. I mean, I face some crazy stuff on my channel, which is just wild, but you just kind of just take it on the chin and you keep going, because you're not going to let, basically DoorDash didn't let any of the haters stop her. And to be honest, what people are actually doing, if people are making hate videos out there, what's actually happening is people are going to be like, well, wait, why are people bashing DoorDash? And then they're just going to go to her channel and they're just going to watch it. They're going to watch her channel. So you're just bringing her more money. So, I mean, that's kind of like the interesting, like, other side of the coin to the dealing with trolls. You know, with this journey of this game of YouTube. I guess you could think about it like a game as well. Even though you may come across adversity or just like really evil, vicious, nasty things that people say, you do get more views and you get more money. You know what I'm saying? So if there's people doing it, either A, don't waste your time, or B, just know that you are literally pouring thousands of dollars into DoorDash's bank account. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I'm also coming across videos about DoorDash that are really positive, but they're trying to break her channel down into like, and put it into these categories in this box. And she literally got to where she's at and soaring off even more. We don't even know where she's going to be at in the next month or two. It'll be interesting to see. But she got to where she's at from no strategy. And if she does have a strategy, in my opinion, she's a genius, because you can't tell. And technically, I guess her strategy is being herself, but that's her own zone of genius, right? Like, that's not, she didn't sit down and say, okay, today I'm going to be so upset that I speak from my heart, being upset. I'm not really upset, but I'm just going to act like I'm upset and talk about X, Y, and Z. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like you could tell she's speaking from her heart every time you watch her videos. Okay? So there's that. But there's other people, of course, and I'm going to tell you one other page that I came across that I think is the closest person that's actually nailing it with the advice that DoDash is giving on starting your YouTube. There's only one person that I'm seeing nailing it, in my opinion. I'm just another person on the internet with an opinion. But if you want to learn how to start your YouTube, you don't really need to listen to any other people that are like the huge YouTubers that have like 500K plus or 200K plus that are putting her into these like brackets. Their expertise and their wisdom is definitely valid and it makes sense. But I really think that if you are someone starting from scratch, do not do anything. Don't only watch DoDash. Only watch DoDash and then just press on. That's all she did. So someone I came across broke her channel down and it was like 8 reasons I'm exposing DoDash, 8 reasons why her page is blowing up. This is her strategy. And again, very, very insightful points, great points. And he said he does coaching for people, so it makes sense. And then what he was saying, I just was like, oh my gosh, like this is actually gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna backfire, because you can tell when someone's trying to make a YouTube video, and that's not a bad thing, right? Like sometimes if we're searching for something like about, I don't know, how to fix a garbage disposal, and it's like an outlined video, we want to see, oh yeah, this person put effort and planned this video, right? So I'm not saying that, but if you're going to talk about your life, if you're going to talk about your fitness journey, your health journey, if you're going to talk about how you overcame adversity in life and be a motivation to people, then do not try to come up with a strategy. Just simply talk. So there is a guy, his name is on YouTube, his name is Dash of Faith, I believe. Dash of Faith. He's this, like, I think lives in LA, and he's kind of reminds me of someone that, I don't know, like, I don't know what his age is. He's definitely, a full-on adult man, right? Like a 40-plus-year-old man, I'm assuming. And he just kind of reminds me of like that uncle feeling, or like that big brother kind of like feeling. And he's kind of like the guy that's just like a blue collar guy that just has these experiences in life, and he just wants to put you on game, and just kind of like help you out with a couple of tips or two, just like like an uncle would do. Right? If you were to go back home for Thanksgiving and you run into your uncle that you haven't seen in years, and you guys just have a nice casual conversation in the corner of the living room, and you guys are eating your second plate of Thanksgiving, you guys are just having a nice chit chat, a nice talk, and it's kind of a little deep, but not too deep to where it just like ruins the whole mood, and it's like, okay, now I need to go cry in the bathroom about life. It's like, just like that good warmth feeling. That's what he reminds me of. And so he talks about how he got his inspiration from DoDash. And I just was like, he's nailing it. He's the only one that I've seen so far that, and it's okay, guys, it's legal for me to have a camera on and drive, as long as I'm not touching the screen. I actually spoke to a police officer about this and specifically asked in California what is the law with that. So as long as I'm not touching the screen and holding it and typing on it and texting on it, and it's on a mount, it's legal, it's fine, it's safe. It's just like if somebody were to be sitting next to me, or even when you see TV shows, maybe because it's a TV show, we don't really think about it, but if you see a TV show and then there's a camera and they're talking in the car, like, and the camera's mounted up here, it's the same thing. So I appreciate the safety precaution, but it's legal, it's fine, as long as I'm not touching the screen. Okay, so he's the only one nailing it, in my opinion, because he's just talking about his real experience, and he's just in his car. You don't have to do the in the car thing. I think people are so busy with their life that I don't think people necessarily want to do it in their car. Like, even with me, I've been on YouTube now consistently. I've been on YouTube since 2013, but I've been consistent with posting like videos since about 2020, 2021. And the reason why I'm always in my car is specifically because of just time. Like, I just have other projects going on. Like, I have things I'm doing. So sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just have to push on while I'm in the car because that's like the only time I have to do a video today. Ideally, I would love to be in a beautiful studio, on a, in a beautiful office on a rooftop somewhere with amazing, gorgeous lighting and a gorgeous background and a microphone and all that. Like, that's would be so cool, but that's just not realistic and where people are at, most of us at least. So, and have a studio and like all that, right? So here's the thing. If you are wanting to start your YouTube channel, like you're wanting to start your YouTube channel, I want you to just be yourself. So if you're gonna follow the DoDash formula, the formula is that there's no formula and you just add value to other human beings. That's it. So she started out with talking about DoorDash. That's why her page is DoDash. And that's it. Like, she just started talking about that and how she dealt with adversity and all that. Then she's talked about some of her personal life. Then she's talking about how to even set up your DoorDash account. And then she talked about how she like has a hair care line. Like, she's just talking about her life. And I think the reason why it worked is because she's relatable, right? She's relatable. She doesn't have all the editing. She doesn't have her makeup done. She doesn't have her hair done. She's like, I wanted to. Same with me. Like, half the time I'm like, man, I just can't wait to just have like an amazing, beautiful studio like in my home, and I can just like have wardrobe and makeup always ready to go and have my hair always done. And I just go into my beautiful studio and I just pour into my amazing YouTube community and we just grow on the earth together. Like, that would be ideal, but it's just like, it's just not realistic. So I think people are kind of fed up with feeling like they can't start something because they don't have the microphone, they don't have the lighting, they don't have the time, right? And then something about driving, there's a therapeutic aspect to it. Like, when you have your music on and you're driving, or you're driving long distance and there's like a nice scenery, like there's just something therapeutic about it. So I think people get a lot of revelations when we all drive, and then you're getting the natural light from the sun. You don't have to set up an entire studio in your car. You're just getting the natural light of the sun, right? So people are like, well, why is everybody just doing videos in their car? I don't think people really want to. And then for some people, that's the only place that they have the ability to actually get some, like, peace and quiet. Some people have children. Some people have loud households where they're just, unfortunately in a position where they don't have a place in their house where they can just be quiet. My brother is actually one of those, like, he has 2 children under the age of 3 and under, and the house is loud, so he doesn't have time sometimes, so I get it. I understand, what I can imagine actually, like, what that would be like when you're just trying to do a video, you want to pop on live, you have something to say, you have something to share with the world, and you just can't, like, get some peace and quiet. So there's that. So that's what it is with the car thing, especially like the guy that I came across, Dash of Faith. He's not really going live. He's just like propping up his camera and then recording a video and then uploading it later, which is a cool style to do as well. And then he's just talking. He's just talking about LA life, talking about, where he's from. And you just kind of like, when you run into somebody, I don't know, you're like all sitting in the DMV and everyone's waiting there for 2 hours, and then you just end up having a conversation with someone. You're just kind of just talking about life, talking about this, like, that's what it is. So don't get caught up. So this is just my opinion for anyone that is kind of following DoDash's model of YouTube videos. There's no strategy. Okay. So there's that. there's my DoorDash rant for the day. We are doing, I don't know how long this is going to go, but I literally have a playlist. If you found my channel and you just are more interested in just hearing about DoorDash, you're going to want to go over to my playlist that says DoorDash YouTube case study. I'm actually studying this. I'm actually taking this on as a study, like I'm a scientist, because as someone who's watched YouTube for many, many years and YouTube is my favorite out of Netflix, out of Hulu, out of cable, out of everything. YouTube is my favorite. So I have seen people blow up over the last, I've been on it since 2013. So what is it? What year is it? 2024? You know what I mean? I've been on it for a while. So it's like, I've seen people blow up, and she's just one of the most interesting people I've seen blow up. A lot of the other YouTubers, they're young. They live at home with their mom. They, their parents are like middle class, upper middle class, or maybe rich, and they can, provide the necessary equipment and stuff like that for the child to just have full reign, right? To just like completely be creative. And then other people started the good old-fashioned way, but then you just see how they kind of like elevate over time, and they do end up hiring an editor. And who knows, DoorDash may do that, she may not. I hope she doesn't, because she's just nailing it so hard at just being herself and not doing edited videos. I actually think if she did edit her videos, like with all the fast-paced like pop-ups and music and the swirly things and the lighting, like all of that, I actually think it would hurt her channel, because people are kind of over it. At least I have a certain box for that. Like and let me know in the comments if you're resonating with this information. Let me know in the comments, and also go ahead and give the video a like, and go ahead and tap in with me and subscribe, because we're going to be breaking her page down until it's just kind of like, I feel like it's time to kind of not transition away from it, okay? But for right now, she's just so interesting to me, so I am going to be talking about her. So I have a whole playlist, okay? And on my channel, I talk about health, fitness, and mindfulness, and a little bit of beauty stuff as well. I think I'm going to just go ahead and just start to add that onto my tagline as well: health, fitness, and beauty, health, fitness, mindfulness, and beauty. And in general, I will do videos from time to time about Los Angeles. So I live in Los Angeles County, and I post videos sometimes about different areas that I'm in, different restaurants, different events, different stuff like that. So if you're interested in LA life, I will be posting about LA life as well. So that's what my page is about. And so for today's fitness check, we are, and as soon as I park, I'll be able to, I'll have about 10 minutes to be able to read your comments and answer questions. So if you can hang tight with for the next 10 minutes or so, I'll be parked in a little bit. So here's the thing. We are going hard on my page with health, fitness, mindfulness for the next 60 days straight. Okay, so we're doing a hard brute force. And what I mean by that is, we're not doing the I'm gonna eat terrible, eat bad, eat whatever I want, not work out, it's getting colder outside, and then come January 1st, then we check in. We're not doing that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It might work for some people that are like outliers, some anomalies, but it doesn't work. You gotta change. You gotta now to where you almost have a new identity, right? Like you're someone that's like, nope, if I don't have a reason to be up late, I'm gonna be in bed by 10 p.m., right? I'm gonna be in bed. Like me personally, I just genuinely like, I'm not telling everyone else to do this, but if I don't have to be up, like if I'm not out at dinner or an event, or like, I don't know, I have family over and we're just up hanging out till midnight or whatever, like if I don't have to be up, I will be like showered, ready for bed at 8 o'clock. Not meaning like I'm gonna go to sleep at 8, but like I'm ready, I'm in the bed at 8, and then I just kind of like hang out until I fall asleep. Sometimes I fall asleep by 9, sometimes I fall asleep by 8:30, sometimes I might be up till 10, but not past 10. That's just me. Because I just genuinely like to wake up really, really early. I like the quietness of the morning. So, a new identity. I'm somebody that drinks my water all throughout the day, every day. New identity. I'm somebody that makes sure to move my body 20 minutes a day, right? I commit. When I say I'm going to go to the gym, then I'm actually at the gym. My 3 days a week that I committed, I am the type of human being, you might as well, if you were to look at my driver's license, and if there was a section that said fitness, you would see that I commit and I work out 3 times a week. And I try to hit my 10,000 steps on every other day, right? Another identity shift. I am somebody that does not overindulge on a bunch of dessert all the time and just blame it on, I just love dessert, or just blame it on, I like to eat. The I like to eat and I love dessert, people really don't realize that it's an addiction. So if you're struggling with that, if you're struggling with, man, but I like to eat good. No, you might have parasites. Because here's the thing, if you're complaining, like if you're like, man, I'm 40 pounds overweight, I'm 50 pounds overweight, but I like to eat. No, you're probably struggling with that because you might have candida, you might have parasites, you might have some kind of sugar addiction, you might be spiking your glucose levels to where you literally don't have the wherewithal to be able to fight the hormonal cravings, because they're hormones, right? So it's just like when people have a drug addiction, someone could say, I just like to smoke like I just like it, that's just my thing, it's my hobby. No, you are triggering certain hormones that are releasing a certain level of happiness hormones, dopamine, that is making you think that it's just your hobby, but no, it's an addiction. So you might say, okay, I'm the type of person, like for example, I just noticed that I was starting to eat like a little bit too much bread. Like back in May and June, I could just tell I was just kind of starting to fall into the cravings with that. So I just was like, look, like if I have a bagel, I don't need to also have another bagel at lunch and another bagel at dinner, or like another piece of bread at dinner, and have bread 3 times a day. Like I literally don't need it. Like I have enough energy, I work out, like I don't need it, okay? The only reason why I eat bread 3 times a day is because I'm just craving it. So just kind of identifying with the type of person that does not overindulge in all kinds of starches. Okay, another identity shift. I'm the type of person that does not stuff my mouth, right? Like you could say, hey, look, like I really make sure that during this stage of my life, if I'm not hungry after and there's a little bit of food left on my plate, I'm just going to pack it up and save it for later, right? Or if you're sharing with somebody, okay, you live with someone, you can say, hey, look, like would you like the rest of this for lunch tomorrow, or whatever. Like be resourceful, right? Like don't try not to waste the food, or just make a smaller plate to where you're doing more, you're just not slopping on a bunch of food knowing that you're not going to be able to finish it, or knowing that you might feel pressure. Now, this is a thing, I don't really know where this comes from, but there's kind of this thing where it's like, well, you need to finish all the food on your plate. And as children, sometimes our parents put a little bit too much food on our plate, but we were like yelled at and told to eat everything off the plate or else you're going to, be in trouble or whatever. And then so it kind of like backfired for some people, because now as adults they have that mindset, like, okay, there's a ton of food on my plate. And if you live in the United States, our portions are huge. Like I went to London, and when I visited London, the UK, this is wild to say, but it was just, maybe it was ironic, maybe it was just, I don't know. I did not see one obese person when I was there. I don't know why. I don't know if I just happened to not turn my head and there wasn't, I didn't see any obese people. And of course, I ate out 3 times a day because, you know, I'm visiting, so I don't have a refrigerator. And so all the restaurants I went to were like, you would look at the plate and be like, oh, is there like another round coming? Like, is there another serving coming my way? And I was like, me and my best friend were like, this is why there's no obese people. Because, I mean, look at the portion. It wouldn't even be the healthiest thing, but it could be like say if we got a burger, it was like small, like it was just like a small burger. Or if we got pasta, it was like a small amount of pasta, in our opinion. To them, they're probably like, oh, this is normal. So like in the United States, you go to a restaurant and then you have that childhood trauma of like being forced to eat everything on your plate, and it's just like an embedded rule. And then, you know, you're overstuffing yourself. Like, I know that there's actually people that have come forward and talk about that, where like they literally don't know how to look at a plate and not eat everything off of it, because they were trained and conditioned that if you do not eat everything off your plate, you're ungrateful and you're going to get in trouble. And so obviously as an adult, that's not the truth anymore. But, you know, when you are teaching a child that from 0 to 7 years old, 0 to 8 years old, it's in them. So, you know, portion control is a real thing. And if you might need to be on a journey with that. You need to focus on that for the rest of the year. Having a smaller amount of food on your plate and not feel pressure to eat the whole thing. Now, when I eat to where I'm full, which is not something I do these days very much, because I actually feel sick now. I used to stuff myself like, oh, I'm about to go in on this food, I can't wait, just slaughter off my whole plate, like just like slaughter all the way off, and then feel crazy. But it was like I knew I was gonna feel crazy and just feel stuffed and like where you literally can't move, and you're like moving, like talking like this, and you can't even lean over. And then that's what Americans do, because it's like, it's culturally like, oh yeah, you were eating good, but no, you're actually literally messing up your system, your digestive system. You're putting too much pressure on your like just the whole system, right? Like, it's kind of like almost, I don't know, I mean, this is a stretch to say, but it's almost like doing self-harm in a way when you are really stuffing yourself to that level, to where, you know, you have to now get a gastric bypass surgery because of it. Like, I actually have people in my family that have had to get that surgery because, you know, unfortunately they ate their problems. And it's really sad. It's a very, very serious thing and a very vulnerable situation. And they would eat their problems, eat their sorrows, eat their depression, and then ended up being so obese. This person in my family was almost 400 pounds and had to get the gastric bypass surgery, where you pretty much staple, I believe you like clip your stomach and restaple it, like shrink your stomach by like pinching it off, you know, to where your stomach isn't really big anymore. It's like your stomach is, so guess what? So now the person has a smaller stomach, but they don't have a smaller mindset with the food. So there would be times where, like, out of habit, like, they would eat too much and then get sick because there's the stomach is literally not big enough. Like, it physically is not big enough to like, you're actually like drowning yourself in food. So that's a bit, food portioning is a huge thing, that one thing in itself. And we all have our different journey with it and our different levels with it. But now for me, I'm like, I literally, if I could have like 4 more bites, I just won't. So let's just say in an average meal, I don't even know this, I'm sure there is a statistic on this, but let's just say the average person has 50 bites in a meal. I don't know. I'm just using the number 50 because it's a nice round number. So it has 50 bites. Say your body's technically fine ending at 40. But you could technically still have the next 50 bites. Okay? You'd be fine. Like, you'd be fine. You'd feel super full, but like you'd be fine. Just don't do it. Just don't have the rest of the 10 bites. And you're gonna feel like, man, I'm used to being able to have that stretched out feeling, like that, oh, I ate good. Oh, that was, wow, I can't even move, but that was so good. And so if you're used to that, that's gonna be a big one for you. So I went through that, because what I was doing, which is really sad, is that I would do very, very, very low calories and then feel really proud of myself and then binge and be like, yeah, well, I'm still in shape, I'm still fit, like, but then I would be like stuffing myself, and then I would go, okay, well, now I went on this big feast, now I'm gonna starve myself, like, not starve, but like now I'm gonna eat, way under a healthy amount of calories. Okay, so hold on really quickly. So that might be something that you might need to work on, and that's not going to happen with just saying you have a New Year's resolution on December 31st going into January 1st. Like, you're not going to be able to change that habit that quickly, and what happens is it ends up making you feel worse, because you're like, I can't do that. I can't sustain this goal. Like, I just can't meet this goal. It's too hard. And then you just say, forget it, I'll try next year. So that's why I'm saying we're doing a hard brute force on our rebuilding habits, doing all these little micro changes and micro, perfecting some things in some areas that are really difficult now, to where when it does come around that last week of December and everyone's talking about New Year's resolution, you're already in the momentum. So that's what we're focusing on this channel, on our channel. This is our channel. I'm just the steward of the Embody Pursuit tribe, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to be able to park in a few, and then I'll be able to read your comments, and just kind of like out of the corner of my eye, I'm seeing the stuff about driving. My hands are not touching the screen. My eyes are on the road. I'm looking around, like I'm driving safely. So it's fine. It's legal to record while you're driving. You just can't be, like, now what is illegal? Like, you can't have the phone like this. Like, sometimes people will have the phone like this and be streaming or doing a video, and like that, you can't do that. But outside of that, the phone has to just be mounted, and that's it. And you just don't engage with the phone. That's it. So if somebody was sitting next to me right now, or I had screaming kids in the background, or, and you're just kind of like looking around, like kind of still paying attention to the road, but telling, kind of glancing, that's what it's like. That's it. And people do that every day. So I just want to kind of drive that point home. That's why there's so many people doing videos in the car, because it is legal. It's legal. So that's why, people might say, well, why is everyone doing it in the car? Well, because it's legal. So, I just want to drive that point home. So yeah, so I'm actually going to park in literally 1 minute. So I'll be able to scroll up and just kind of catch up and see what you guys are saying. And I shout out to Hallie, shout out to Patrick, my 2 moderators. I love and appreciate you guys so much, because it is definitely a journey dealing with cruel comments, mean comments, rude comments, comments that, if I wasn't where I am at mentally and my relationship with God, it would really take a toll. And that's the thing too. Unfortunately, a lot of people are so paralyzed from like wanting to press record and sharing their gifts with the world just because of trolls. And it's really, really sad that like people can be that vicious on the internet to literally scare people out of potentially stepping into their purpose. And maybe they are in their purpose, but obviously this vehicle of being able to speak to everyone across the globe is a blessing from God. It's a great tool to be able to use, and it's really sad that there's just some people that are just too scared. I actually know some people like that. I'm like, oh man, I just see the potential in them. I was one of those people too. My thing wasn't really the troll thing, because I used to actually be a professional dancer and dance for arena football. And so I was a cheerleader all throughout, my younger years. I was on dance teams. So when you're on dance teams, you're in front of crowds. And what's funny is that the crowd doesn't really realize this, but we can see you. Like, we can see you. And so when people would be like saying rude things, or or you could just tell someone's talking about you, or, we would have to wear these outfits. And sometimes, like, some of the girls on the team, it was accentuating a roll or something on their stomach, and people, just people would say vicious things, or just be rolling their eyes, or sometimes, like, before we would actually go out onto the field and like perform, we would, be kind of like, I don't know what to call that, like kind of like just in the hallway, like this, in the hall, I guess you could say. And we would hear we could hear the people on the first few rows. We can hear them. I don't know if people realize that. So, oh, these stupid cheerleaders, or, oh my gosh, that one is so ugly, or how did that girl get on the team? She's hideous, or that girl sucks, or just like really cruel. So I actually got my muscle for that started at like a younger age. So the troll thing, yeah, that was something that was on my mind, but my thing was more like feeling imposter syndrome, like I just wasn't good enough. Like, I'm like, there's so many other people out there that are experts with the credentials, that are, just in better shape than I am, but healthier than I am, but just always saying that someone was better. So I just wasn't ready enough or good enough, or, I don't have the lighting, I don't have the da-da-da-da. And then one day I just ripped off the Band-Aid. And so here we are. So this is where I'm at now. So let's see. Just kind of straighten out here. So I have about 10 or so minutes. This person, what are they doing? Okay. All right, so let's see what y'all are saying. All right, so I'm gonna scroll up really quick. I'm gonna try to go as quick as I can to catch up with some of your comments. Have a nice stream. Thank you so much. Also, tap in with my subscription. So I have a personal email list. I have no desire to scam you guys, spam you guys, send you guys a million emails every day. I literally don't have the desire or the time for that. But I just want to be able to stay connected with you all. And yes, I will. The only thing I'll really do is send you if I dropped a new video, or if I'm giving out something for free. Or I might say, hey, I dropped a new video, and also check out my ebook guide. Like, it's really not going to be like these big, long, intensive emails. Or, hey guys, I'm going to be going live. Be the first to know I'm going live. Say if you are resonating with me and you like my kind of like my motivational speeches and my coaching style, then, and you might want to tap in with me live and ask me questions live, then I'll send out an email and say, hey, I'm going to be going live soon. So that's really the plans that I have for it right now. I'm sure it will evolve. Let's see. I'm from India. Awesome. Shout out, cousin. Let's see. This is why I left California. Okay. Let's see what is going on. Hi, how are you? My English teacher, I know you are very fine. Okay. Let's see. Please go out and, okay. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Exactly. Hallie said, the people talking about her will bring more eyeballs. Yep. So true. I am very proud of you, madam. Also Indian DNA. Yep. Let's see. But your knowledge, next level. Thank you. I am, again, tell you, madam, your voice Your voice, I sound like Michael Jackson? I'm assuming, I don't know if that's what you meant by that, but it says, Madam, your voice, Michael Jackson music. Okay? They ain't got no good food, that's why. The chemicals and additives contained in our food supply here in the United States that are banned in other countries. Exactly. Like, that should be, all my American people, please wake up. Please, 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 please. It is not, like, even if you don't want to do the whole conspiracy theory thing, because I know some people are really turned off by that kind of stuff, like, oh, everything's a conspiracy. Here's the thing. It's scientific at this point. Like, it is documented. Like, it is reported. The stuff that is in the food out here is so bad. It's like, you really have to go out of your way to find good food. You really have to make some time to cook, like, as much as you can. Like, when I was younger, and I'm just, this is not to offend anybody or anything like that, but when I was younger, in my class, there was maybe one obese kid, one obese child, maybe arguably in the whole grade, like in the whole second grade, so like, say at elementary school, there's maybe 3 second grade classes, 3 third grade classes, 3. In the whole grade, there might be 1, maybe 2 obese children when I was younger. Now, when I see the children, like, in the elementary schools, there's like arguably 1/3 of the class, they're obese children. And it breaks my heart, because it is like, it is so hard being an adult for some people, and navigating life, and having to be resilient, and having to deal with financial stuff and health issues, and then you're obese on top of it, like having to deal with societal norms, having to deal with work, having to deal with, relationships, friendship relationships, coworker relationships, rude people on the street, like, just being an adult, like doing adulting things, like life doing its life thing. And then now you're obese. Like, there was one time I was out, it was like a family thing, and one of the family members could not get on the ride because they were too obese. And it's like, that brings attention to, like, your weight, and then, like, then you have to deal with that, like, oh man, I can't, sorry guys, I'll catch you down, I'll wait, I'll take pictures from above. And then now the whole line of people now have attention on you being obese. Like, it's just like, so I'm just imagining those children, like, it could bring me to tears, actually. Like, I really feel like we are doing children a disservice by allowing them to be obese. And we're like, oh, it's just baby weight. There's a difference between baby weight. Like, my brother, I'm sure he won't get offended, but my brother had baby weight. My brother had baby weight. Like, he always had like a little pot belly, and like, he just was never, like, he was on a soccer team for 3 years straight, actually, and he just still had this pot belly, like, that just wouldn't go anywhere. And I make fun of him, and I know he knows it's out of love, but like, he probably does get really annoyed by it. But he was not obese. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like little chubby, little cute little chubbiness, little pot belly. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about obese children, and it's like, it's just comfortable now. Like, it's like the parents are just like, oh, that's what they want to eat. Yeah, that's what they want to eat. What child doesn't want to eat pizza? I want to eat pizza every day. I want to eat pizza every day. I want to have ice cream every day. Now, I know I would literally be sick if I did, but yeah, I want to eat candy every day. Like, of course the child wants to. Okay, madam, I am reaching my office. I'm busy. Okay, awesome. Growing up eating in buffets. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about it. That's a really good point. We were kind of a buffet family too, buffet style. And we would be like, because like, my mom and my grandma would pull their coins together to get us to it was hometown buffet. We always went to hometown buffet. And my grandma is such a thug. she would like load her, she would bring this big purse, like this is my work bag, but she would bring a purse like this big, and she would bring some napkins and just load up the purse. But yeah, it would like eat up, because you ain't gonna get the, we have about another month till we can come back here, and then you would just be so stuffed, and you just didn't know when you were gonna be able to eat that good again, so that is so true. Let's see. And I have about, okay. Let's see. Thank you, Hallie, for shouting that out too. Yes, turn on the notifications, please. I'm about to hit the 3-week mark eating a whole food plant-based nutrition plan. Guys, please, please, please look for foods high in fiber. Yep, they absolutely maintain your hunger levels. This is so true. I love it. I love it. I love it. Stay tapped in and stay commenting, because it just encourages everybody else to kind of start to make the shift as well. And we do need to eat more whole foods, even if you eat meat. You guys know, if you guys have been following me for a while, I am a vegan, mainly plant-based. I will have cheese every now and again. I will have, I have honey, stuff like that. There's a couple things that are technically not vegan that I'll still have. But we just got to start to incorporate actual things that grow from the earth. Like, so if you eat pizza all the time, or you have sandwiches all the time, at least try to have a salad with it. That's just like the least I can ask or encourage. I recommend steamed red cabbage with seasoned fish, steamed buckwheat with veggie stir fry, smashed roasted broccoli. That sounds fire. That sounds really good. I hope you guys are screenshotting that. I'm someone who loves the feeling of feeling full after a meal. And if you're actually eating foods with Mother Earth, you're going to get nutrients and feel full. Yeah, that is so true. It is actually hard to eat. Like, you can't overeat on like vegetables, because you actually just feel so full that you literally can't. Like, you literally, like, where was I at? I don't remember where I was. It was somewhere within the last year, and there was like all these vegetables like in like this side dish, and they were really tasty, and I was eating them, and I was like, I want to eat more of the vegetables. I literally can't, because I'm just full. Like, the food is so dense and nutrient filled that your body just is like, it locks out or something. It's like, okay, boom, like, we have enough vitamins and nutrients, like, we're good. Let's see. Yes, the portion sizes are out of control. It's so bad. Why doesn't my chana masala taste the same way it does in restaurants? Like, it's good but different. What's interesting about that, you could just ask the chef. Like, you could just say, hey, do you mind if I kind of run my recipe by you? Like, are you guys putting something else in it? Because that could be why. But we all know how it is. Homemade food versus restaurant food, it's just always going to taste better at home, in my opinion. But if you like the restaurant's food, then just ask the chef, like, hey, can I like pick your brain for a second? And chefs love stuff. They love that, unless they have like a secret recipe, and then that strokes their ego too. Can't wait for RFK to be in office. Okay, let's see. Free. Okay. I would love to. The poorest people can't afford good food. Processed food is much cheaper. That is true. That is true. I think that's when that's the only exception. So I come from a family like that. My mom has gone through a journey with being borderline poor to middle class, maybe even touched upper middle class at some point. Like, she definitely has had a journey during my youth, as we were being raised, and yeah, you have to survive, right? Like, you literally have to survive. So, but don't let that be a crutch. Don't fall into victimhood with it. Like, be on a plan. This is what I would encourage poor people, because I've just been there. I've been there as a child. We weren't there for very long, but I've definitely touched what that feels like. eating out of cans, you know, eating out of like frozen food, the 99 frozen food, you know, cartons or whatever. But like, that's not where my mom wanted to stay, right? Like she didn't use it, say, oh, well, we're down bad right now. And like, this is what it is. No. So don't let that be a crutch. You just have to have a plan to get healthier. Like, you just have to have a plan to get some more funds to get healthier. And arguably, to be honest, some of the poor people, not all, some really are actually poor, but some of the poor people are just not reallocating their funds and making it a priority to get healthier food. They'd rather get shoes. They'd rather get Jordans and look like they're middle class. You know, they want to look a certain way and then like spend money on a 99-cent taco, right? Rather than maybe spending a little bit more on whole foods, you know, really clean meats and stuff like that, you know, and then maybe not buy the new Jordans. So, all right, guys. So I would love to read through the rest of these, but I got to go into this meeting. So I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I may go back on later. I may not, I'm not sure, but this is my check-in for today. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, sign up with my email list. If you're not able to sign up right now, make sure to sign up with my email list on my community tab. And that's really all that I have for today. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.